So today's project is going to be dealing with these potatoes from last year that have set up these long shoots. And I could plant them like this, but where I'm going to plant them in the ground isn't ready for planting out yet. So I'm going to try to cut these down to see if I can start them indoors in pots and then plant them out. So I thought I would do it on tape so that I can evaluate later in the year when I harvest.
So I started cutting this one, so I cut it off of here, and I feel like it branches out, so all of these like little points, I think it's gonna set up new shoots from here, so I left a few on them. And then like this one, I don't feel like I need to do really anything with it. It's not that tall. It's gonna fit in a pot. And this one as well. This one. So this is a type of potato called amandine. It's considered to be a gourmet potato here in Sweden. So this one, I think I'm gonna cut. Maybe like this is a growth point. This is one. This is one. So maybe after 3, I'll cut it like that. And then maybe I could put this in water and have it grow out, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm focusing on the roots. So I also have seed potatoes of this variety that I'm going to grow this year, but it's because it's considered to be a gourmet potato. The seed potatoes are quite expensive, so I figured if I have these ones from last year, why not try to use them at least? If I don't plant them, I will have lost them anyway. So if I try and it doesn't work, I feel like that's the same as throwing them out, basically. So I'm going to do this to all of them that need it. This one I would say doesn't need to be cut. But then this one has a really thick one. Most of them have more than one shoot coming out, but this one only has one, so I'm going to cut it a bit higher up so it has like several, I don't know if there are growth points, but like these little so like these little points here is where I'm thinking it's gonna grow out. And this one is really tiny potato, but it's set out these long shoots. And so this is what I'm thinking, that in each of these points it's gonna branch out just like it has here. So I'm thinking that that's why I'm leaving a few of these and hoping that I can set out shoots from these ones. And yeah, this one looks good. So I didn't clean these potatoes before I stored them. Just put them in this container in a layer so they weren't on top of each other, and it's lasted.
I think I harvested these maybe in June or July last year. And it's the end of February now. So it's good to know. Sometimes potatoes that aren't labeled as storage potatoes can still be stored. Maybe they're not the best. I mean, these won't throw out shoots, but if they hadn't thrown out shoots, I mean, they're still edible. Like, some of them are soft, but like this one isn't even soft. The skin looks nice, and you could peel that and eat that. So I would say that you could definitely use these for storage. Maybe not like a year, but I mean, through the winter at least. I moved the project out to the balcony, and the pots that I'm using are 11 by 11 centimeters. The soil that is in the bucket is old soil that I used to grow tomatoes in last year. So I'm starting by adding some fresh soil mix to the bottom and then fertilizing with some blood meal and bone meal. And then I'm placing a potato on top of that and covering it with the old soil so that when the potatoes send out roots, the roots will be in the fertilizer and the fresh soil. I'm going to show you from a different angle, so it's going to be a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. So here, as I said, I'm starting out with some fresh potting soil in the bottom, and then the same fertilizer, which is bone meal and blood meal, a little bit more of the fresh potting soil, and then I'm placing a potato on top of the soil and covering it with the old soil that I've used before. And I'm just going to continue on doing this the same way until I have all of the potatoes planted in the pots. And after a while, I figured out that it was more efficient to do a couple of pots at the same time. And then I'm just watering them in, and this old soil I'm noticing is quite hydrophobic, like it's not taking in the water. So I'm watering them a little bit at a time, and then when the water sinks, I'm watering them again. So I'm trying to get all of the soil moist in the pot. We still have a lot of cold nights, so I'm putting the potatoes in this clear plastic tote that I have a lid that I'm gonna put on as well, so that they're a bit more sheltered from the cold out here on the balcony. And then I'm just gonna leave them until I see sprout. And when they've sprouted, I'm gonna try to keep the box open as much as possible so that they can get more sunlight. And I'll keep you guys updated on the progress. So thank you for joining me today.